All right. So, got to sleep in a little bit this morning. So that was nice. Um, Woke up this morning, got on the scale, and to my disappointment, I'm up more weight, which I don't get. I think it's fucking water retention or something, but I'm at 326. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know why, but so I'm just gonna make sure I stick to the meal plan, and hopefully, it's just a couple days of minor uptick and swing. But yeah, it's frustrating. You stick to a diet, and, minimal, deviations from it, and your weight fluctuates and hovers around about the same as it was when you started the damn diet. So I don't know. So yeah, so frustrated about that, but it is Saturday, which is nice. I'm gonna go outside and um, take care of some things around the place. I think I'm gonna, you know, focus on doing some mowing and things of that nature. But hopefully it's not too damn hot. I can see that the wind's blowing a little bit, so that's good. So work around the place, do some things. When it gets too hot, and come inside, and we'll get the kitchen cleaned up, and then work on getting my meals prepped for the next couple days. And yeah, start it all over again. Today is going to be a deadlift day, so we'll be able to get in the gym and hit some weights. So that'll be good and be fun. So I hope all the weights move well. The volume on my deadlift is not as high as the other stuff, which is good. So we're gonna just get the day going. I'm gonna try to wake up, be productive, which is probably gonna be kind of tough, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fight through it, because all I want to do is just sleep for like a month, but I'm not going to. So stay tuned, and I'll show you some things little by little through the day. I think the meal prep is gonna be fun to capture and share. So we'll definitely get that going. All right, so for all of you bigger people out there, people who struggle with being able to do your food and count your calories and do all that stuff, I wanted to walk through my process and how I made it easy to be able to prep my meals every day so I could hit my goals. So I came up with 7 key points that I follow to make sure that I have a good, successful meal plan going. So first, what are your goals, your calories, the macros and total meals you're going to follow for the day? I work with somebody, and I've actually hired a nutrition person to kind of help me out, just because I don't know a whole lot about this. So they actually told me how many calories you should hit, how many macros, and how many meals you should eat for the day. So once you have your total goal and what you're looking for, you can kind of go from there and build out your meal plan. So next key element is, what foods do you like? So despite of what you see out there, the only way you're going to stick to this and follow this is if you like the foods that you eat. And I'll go over some of my foods that I like later. But that's key. You got to be able to eat consistently all care for, you don't like, it won't work. So the next thing that is important is you gotta have a food tracker. I downloaded MyFitnessPal. It's free. I like free. So you're able to create meals, create recipes, and also track your daily intake as far as meals and food throughout the day. Fourth thing, develop meals that fit. So if you know what foods you like, then you can kind of create a meal that you would eat consistently. And then you also, if you have a food tracker, you're able to create those meals to give you overall profile of how many calories per meal, what your macros are, and what it's, and you can combine that with the total amount of meals for the day to kind of hit your goal. Next, don't use all of your calories or macros. So you know your goal, you got 3,000 calories you're supposed to hit for the day, 300 grams of protein, 300 grams of carbs, 125 grams of fat. When you're developing this, it's okay to have a little wiggle room in there, because there will be days where you don't quite have everything you need, or you forgot to bring something to work or do whatever, so you have some cushion room. And then, you know, like me, I like to have a beer every once in a while, so I build some space in there that if I want one, I can have one. If I don't, I just eat a little bit more of whatever we make. So it'll help. It's not cheating, it's just being realistic. So, and then step 6 is prep meals for the week. So if you make all your food for the whole week and it's already in the fridge ready to go, you can take those meals with you. There's no excuse to be like, oh, I don't have anything, I'm gonna go run and grab this, or I'm gonna eat that, and then you're just trying to, you know, and then at that point you're just using a food tracker just to pick and just throw stuff in there. And that's not good. You'll get off track real fast. But if they're all ready, prepped, and ready to go for you, you can just take them. There's no excuse to eat what you made. And then lastly, you may like certain foods that you like, but continue to develop meals that fit within your goals and what you like, because eventually you will get tired of eating the same thing. And if you have some backups where you can plug and play and change things around, you'll be able to stick to it rather than going off the road. So next, we're going to get to laying out all the ingredients of my favorite foods and what I like to eat week in and week out. And stay tuned. All right, so my favorite foods and what I like to eat day in and day out are comprised of pretty much the same stuff. I found that this really works for me and I can eat it every day. There are some variations I like to do, but this is pretty much what I do. So oatmeal, I like oatmeal, peanut butter, eggs, salsa. Love onions. Anything that I eat is usually got an onion in it or some onions in it. I got just regular white rice, hamburger, ground beef. So I like eating beef. Beef's my favorite meat. I do like pork. It's hard to kind of cook a large amount of pork and then portion it out. Ground beef works really well for me. I love using a lot of olive oil. You know, when I cook either my eggs or my rice, just to get a little bit of extra good fats in there. And then last but not least, when you do this and you track your food, you need to weigh it, because when you do like portion sizes with like a cup or a handful or whatever you use, it's just not really consistent enough to really know how much you're actually intaking. So I weigh everything out and I make sure it's according to weight. And I put that in my food tracker so that I'm able to track it as accurately as possible, because let's just be honest, a lot of this is just these nutritional guidelines on here. They're pretty much just a guideline. They're not 100% all the time, so it's better just to weigh it, because you're not going to be able to distribute one cup the same way every time. But weight, it's finite. There's no question about it. So these are the ingredients that I use And plus it also helps too if you got your meal plan set up and you know what you're cooking, it makes shopping a lot easier because you know the amount of things you need to just go get just for the week. And it helps with your grocery bills and everything like that too as well. So next we'll plate it out, so to speak, and we'll show you how I weigh everything out and do everything like that. All right, so my first meal of the day generally is a protein shake. I use Isopure. It's the cheapest, cleanest protein that I find that doesn't mess with my stomach because I'm lactose intolerant, so whey can really make you feel bloated. But I usually first thing up in the morning, I get up and I'll have me 75 grams of protein and a whey shake, a Monster. I'll load all my meals up and I'll go to work. Once I'm at work, eat my first meal, which is oatmeal, peanut butter, some brown sugar, and I take a few fiber gummies just to kind of help me overall with all my fiber content throughout the day. So carbs start the morning, fats, protein shake, and some more carbs with brown sugar. Like I said, it's simple and it's easy. It doesn't take very long, and I'm kind of obsessive, so I like to set up like an assembly line. So I'll go through and portion it all out one thing, and I'll go through and I'll portion out the other thing because they're tracked differently in the tracker. Like this is grams, ounces, grams. So I like to keep going with one thing, make it go as fast as possible, and just roll through it. So that's the first meal. So since I have a nutrition coach, unless you got a lot of money, which a lot of us don't, you hire somebody and they'll sit there and they'll tell you what you should be eating, but they're not going to develop your plans for you. You're going to have to do that. If you want them to develop a plan for you, more than likely, number one, it'll probably be a lot more expensive for you, and you're going to have a lot more of a complex meal prep. You're going to have multiple different ingredients. It's going to cost more, so it's better for you just to take an hour or 2 hours just really figuring out what you like, what you can eat consistently, and make it work with what they told you what to do. If you choose not to do a coach and you're doing it on your own, that's awesome for you, and I'm glad you're able to do it. I did it because I need the accountability more than anything. But you can get online and find a calorie counter and figure it out for yourself, and you can develop from there. But just know that just because you're gonna go, I'm gonna hire somebody to do it for me, they're not gonna tell you what to eat and when to eat, which is a whole different conversation on when you're supposed to eat certain things. But I'm not gonna tell you that. You have to do this on your own. So make it simple, make it easy, and also make it to where you'll enjoy it. All right, so when you're prepping your meals, you want to make sure that if you're going to do it in a timely manner, start with the things that's going to take the longest. So for me, the rice, cooking the rice and getting it boiling and then simmering, that takes the longest. So I try to start that as soon as I can, because the quicker I can get it started, the faster it can cool down, the more I can portion it out. And then next, usually I'll move on to the hamburger meat and getting that browned up, get that going. And while that's all happening, I'm making the oatmeal and prepping the salsa in the containers. That way, whenever things are done, they come off, they're ready to go. And then you're not losing a whole lot of time. So when you're making a whole week's worth of food, if you don't really kind of start from like the most labor intensive onward, it could take you all day, where usually this type of meals that I do takes me maybe 2 hours, do the whole week. So start with the most labor-intensive thing first, get that done, get it out of the way, get it cooling, and then work your way down, and then that way you can start just plating it out. So that's what we do. All right, another good important tip while you're cooking your meals is to clean as you go too. So try to eat, when you get done with something, try to clean it right away, get it drying, and also try to use the most minimal amount of utensils as you can, because the reality is, if you don't, you're gonna be cleaning for days. So make sure you clean as you go and use as least amount of utensils as possible. That way you ain't having to clean up for an hour after the fact. So morning meal, oatmeal, peanut butter. So for a mid-morning meal and then afternoon meal, they eat around 2 o'clock or so, it's rice and hamburger with some barbecue sauce. So that takes, those are the 3 meal, one of the 3 meals, and then so I weigh them up, add everything according to the weight, and put them in the refrigerator. So that's meals 2 and 3. So easy, 3 ingredients, not hard to plan for, not hard to cook, and then easy to eat, and it's what I need to hit. So in conclusion, a full week's worth of cooking done in under 2 hours, and refrigerator stocked, ready to go for the week. So hope you guys like that and have some insight on some good meal prepping tools, and we will catch you back later. Bye.